Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing Batman R.I.P. Now, Batman R.I.P. is Grant Morrison's big Batman title, and it's supposed to change the Batman mythos forever. Whether or not it does that, we'll have to see. Now, Batman R.I.P. ties in with the Black Glove story arc. And it starts off with Batman searching everywhere in Gotham, even its underworld, for connections to the Black Glove organization. And this is concerning a lot of people close to him, particularly Robin and Jezebel. Alfred seems unaffected because he's probably used to Batman's obsessive casework. Now, Batman's relationship with Jezebel has flourished to the point that he brings her down to the Batcave. And it is there that Black Glove makes his first big move. Remember the isolation chamber a while back? Yeah? Well, while Batman was in the isolation chamber, Dr. Hurt was feeding him hypnotic suggestions, and then when the trigger is activated, these suggestions will attack Batman mentally. Of course, the trigger is activated in the Batcave, and Batman is crippled from the mental attack. And then Black Glove invades the Batcave, injects heroin and crystal meth into Batman, throws him out on the street, have him wandering around aimlessly thinking that he's a homeless person. They also capture Jezebel, hold her hostage, captures Alfred, tortures him, and then captures Nightwing and plan to do a lobotomy on him. They also move their operation to Arkham, where they're working with the Joker. Yeah. Anyways, this is where Batman shows how he's prepared for everything. During the missing year after the Infinite Crisis, Batman tried to find a way to protect himself from psychological mental attacks. And by doing so, a second personality, a backup personality, was created. So when the trigger was activated in the Batcave, Bruce Wayne and Batman personality kind of goes away and kind of is protected. And a second backup personality, the Batman of Zur-En-Ah, is created, and it takes the full blown of the attack. Now, this personality is a lot more brutish and violent than the normal Batman personality. Now, the Batman of Zur-En-Ah goes after Black Glove in Arkham, and there he's confronted with the Joker. And Joker has Jezebel hostage in the other room. The Batman of Zur-En-Ah breaks through to get Jezebel, and is there that he is actually attacked by a nerve gas created by flower petals that can fly from the sky. And at the same time, Batman of Zur-En-Ah disappears, and the regular Batman personality returns. Now paralyzed, Jezebel reveals herself to be part of Black Glove. Black Glove takes Batman, puts him in his normal Batman outfit, ties him up into a straitjacket, and buries him in the coffin. Now this is where it's actually kind of funny with the Joker, because the Joker says to Black Glove, you know, you guys screwed up big time. Batman will find a way out, he will find you guys, and he will make you guys pay. I have spent my life trying to figure out Batman, thinking outside the box millions of times that I can't beat him. You can't beat Batman. He will win. And of course, Batman does get out of the coffin, and he goes to confront this club of villains and Black Glove with the help of Nightwing. And he goes to confront Jezebel first, and he says, you know, I knew you were evil all the time. While you were playing me, I was really playing you. Courtesy of acting lessons from Alfred. And then he goes to confront Dr. Hurt, who is going around proclaiming that he is actually Thomas Wayne. Of course, Batman's not having any of that. He jumps onto Dr. Hurt's helicopter, punches through, takes the helicopter down. Dr. Hurt and the pilot is missing, who the pilot was the Batman imposter, and then Batman goes back to the Batcave. And that's where R.I.P. ends. However, they include the last rights issues in this, where Batman is having his memory sucked out by a machine to create this ultimate army for Darkseid. However, Batman fights back using his memories and actually gets out of the machine, although it's not shown. It also shows the connection between R.I.P. and Final Crisis, where Batman goes back to the Batcave after R.I.P. and then goes to the Justice League to investigate Orion's death. And that's the end of the graphic novel. On to the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get it. I have to tell you, up front, I was not happy with R.I.P. when it first came out, because I was worried that it was going to change Batman and was going to do something that I wouldn't like. Specifically, my biggest fear was Batman killing someone, or something else happening, like the Batman personality would die and only Bruce Wayne remained, or vice versa, or something big happened. And I'm glad to say that nothing happened. They should never do anything like that, like Batman killing someone. That's like one of the golden traits of Batman that makes him stand out more than any other superhero. So I'm happy that nothing like that happened. So I actually got to enjoy the story for what it was. And I found out that R.I.P. isn't supposed to be destroying Batman. It's not a story to destroy the mythos. It's a story to tell how cool Batman is. Look, he builds a second personality to defend himself versus psychological attacks. He plays Jezebel the whole time she's playing him. He defeats probably his greatest opponent, Black Glove, coming out smelling like roses. And he uses his memories to combat the effects of Darkseid's machine. How cool is Batman? I realized that Batman R.I.P. isn't a bad story. It's actually a really good story showcasing how cool Batman is. And it also has a great structure, great mystery. I remember reading on the message boards when this first came out, people were trying to figure out what was going to happen. It was a good mystery with a lot of subtle hints put in there. Grant Morrison really did a good job on this. Now, that's not to say there weren't a few bad points to it. One problem I had with it is, it seems like everyone knows Batman's identity now. Joker must know, although it was hinted that he knew from way back in Death in the Family. Commissioner Gordon knows, but how do we know that he didn't know from the very beginning? And like the Club of Villains, and everyone knows, although I think Joker killed all the Club of Villains. The second thing I didn't like is, they promoted this to be a big momentous change to Batman mythos, but nothing really happened. I guess you could say, yeah, Dr. Hurt could be Thomas Wayne, but not really. You could say that the Black Glove created Batman, and that everything in his life has been planned by Black Glove. Yeah, but it really doesn't affect Batman that much, at least not yet. And you could also say that the Wayne's murder wasn't a random occurrence and was actually a hit. But then again, that doesn't affect the Batman mythos that much. So really, it didn't affect the Batman mythos. It's not a bad thing. It's just they promoted it wrong. The last thing that hurts us is Grant Morrison himself. Now, I like a lot of Grant Morrison's work, and then I hate a lot of his work. But putting that all aside, it's more or less how he portrays himself talking about R.I.P. He comes off as very smug, and I think that turns people off to some of his work. Like when he was talking about Final Crisis killing off Batman, he was happy. He was saying how exhilarating it was. But, I mean, the people that killed off Superman were all upset, and they were sad, and they said it was the worst thing they ever did. He just comes off as smug, and I think that turns people off to his work. They really shouldn't, because he does do good work sometimes. Well, sometimes. I mean, Final Crisis wasn't that good. And Batman and Son really did suck. But, I mean, R.I.P. on a whole, R.I.P. was a fantastic story. I really enjoyed it. I went 180 because I hated it beforehand. But I really suggest picking R.I.P. up. It is a great Batman story. I suggest picking up Batman Black Glove to go around with it. Now, before I end this, I just want to talk to the fans of Batman out there. You know, if you like Grant Morrison or if you don't like him, and if you don't like him, it's understandable. I mean, like, Final Crisis and Batman and Son just plain out sucked, or was confusing, and it just wasn't that great. But whether you like him or you don't, you might as well get used to him and enjoy what he does do good. Because Grant's going to be on Batman for at least 4 more arcs. I mean, R.I.P. is only the halfway point to Grant Morrison's saga on Batman. So, I understand if you don't like him. I mean, there's times that I don't like him, there's times I do like him. He's like an acquired taste. But, I mean, you might as well get used to it. There's no point in getting upset and complaining about it. Okay? I understand, but I mean, just get used to it. So anyways, on a whole, pick up Batman R.I.P. Great story. It totally surprised me. You know, everything worked out well in this. So with that said, I'm going to end the review here. This is Andrew, saying peace out for now.